103 of my random boxer career history, and it's William Amos Smith, otherwise known as Mysterious Billy Smith. Mysterious Billy Smith was born on the 15th of May 1871 at Nova Scotia in Canada. Welterweight lineal undisputed champion twice, once at 21 and once at 27 years old. He was a welterweight lineal undisputed champion, defended the title twice. Had 91 recorded fights. I do doubt that because I've seen different records. And they say he's the most dirtiest fighter of all time. I think he got disqualified more than near enough anyone. And he was involved in a few suspicious matches back in the day. Good boxer, or fighter, should I say, really. It doesn't reflect how good he was. Young Peter Jackson, he fought. Ferns, Kid Levine, Barbados Joe Walcott, Honeydee Melody. Fast punching, aggressive boxer who would blatantly break the rules, but not like Fritzy Zivic. Fritzy Zivic used to get away with it and never got disqualified. He always used to get disqualified, and he used to know how to get. He used to know how to get away with bending and breaking the rules, but too much really, and he would get disqualified in the end. Where Fritzy Zivic, did it on the sly. It was probably the best in a way of getting away with it type dirty boxer. They allowed a lot more basically back in the day, with the sort of loose thumb. It's to cause damage to the eyes, etc. Thank God that's all gone. Yes, the webbed thumb sort of coming like the 80s onwards. I think I remember it. Pinkland Thomas fight in the 80s, and I think it was Leonard v Hagler. So I first sort of remembered the webbed glove coming in to stop gouging, as well as the lace. I remember that coming in. I think that was when Duran fought Camacho, somewhere around then, but 80s, 90s. But Al Bundy Davis, Fritzy Zivic, all up there with the dirtiest boxers of all time. But good boxers, fighters, all of them. And Mysterious Billy Smith was involved in a lot of sort of criminal activity. William Amos Smith was born on May the 15th, 1871, otherwise known as Mysterious Billy Smith. And it was he was born at Little River at Digby in Nova Scotia in Canada. And Mysterious Billy Smith died on October the 14th, 1937. When the Spanish Civil War started, I think, somewhere around that time. He was age 66, Billy Smith, when he died. It was in Portland, in Oregon. And the record I got is 94 fights, 94 matches, 37 wins, 24 inside the distance, 25 losses, 27 draws, 5 no contests. With these, I like to go for the losses quite a lot. Different times. Obviously, unbeaten records weren't in flow. He drew his first one officially against Ed Harvey. Lost his fourth one against Frank Purcell. Draw against Tommy West in his 7th. Beat Dan Needham in his 10th. Matches. 12th match. Beat Tommy Ryan. Draw with Tommy Ryan twice. 12th and 14th match. 17th match he lost to Tommy Ryan. His 18th match he fought someone called Mayo. Nickname Mayo, I don't know what that is. Must be a misprint, but anyway. Dick O'Brien he got a draw with. Jack Powers he got a draw with. Then Peter Mahia, light heavyweight guy, knockout specialist, got a no decision against. In 22nd match, draw against Barbados Walcott. Tommy Ryan, another draw. Tom Cowley got no decision. Charles Kidd McCoy, middle light heavyweight, got disqualified against, lost. Australian Jim Ryan, he got disqualified against. No contest against Billy Gallagher. Then Tommy Ryan, and a draw against Con Doyle, and a loss against George Young Corbett Green. I think it was Corbett the third, and a loss against Jack Bonner, a draw against Jack Powers, and then a loss against Jack Bonner, and Charlie Johnson a loss, and Abe Elman a draw, and Barbados Walcott a draw, and then Charlie Johnson a draw, and then Billy Stift, he got disqualified against and lost, and then Andy Walsh a draw. Matty Matthews, he got a win against his 56th match, and another draw against Andy Walsh. Tommy West, another draw in his 60th match. Barbados Walcott, he got a win against, 61st match. And George Kidd Levine, he beat in his 63rd match. And Charlie McKeever, he got a draw against his 64th match, and a draw against Jack Mahoney, his 65th match, and a win against George Bailey, and another draw against Andy Walsh, and another draw against Billy Stift, and a loss against Charlie McKeever in his 70th match, and he revenged that against Charlie McKeever, and a loss against Rube Ferns on disqualification, and he won a match against Frank McDowell on a disqualification. He turned them into dirty matches, he won them sometimes on DQ, and a draw against Jack Mahoney, 74th match, and then a loss against Matty Matthews, his 75th match, a loss against Barbados Walcott, and then a win against young Peter Jackson, 78th match, a loss against Barbados Walcott with DQ, 79th match, and 80th match. He loses DQ against Jim Judge. A draw against Professor Mike Donovan, 81st match, and a no contest against Jack Mahoney in his 82nd match, and a draw against Owen Ziegler, his 83rd match, and a draw against Tim Hurley in his 84th match, and loss against young Peter Jackson, and the good black fighter avoided sort of Black Murder's Row way, George Byers, got a draw against, and then Tom Tracy, he gets a draw against, and 88th match, Al Neal, he gets a draw against, and a loss against Al Neal in his 89th match, and a loss to Tommy Ryan and Barbados Walcott. 93rd match, a DQ loss against Jim Cameron, and 94th match, last match supposedly, Jack Root TKO. And Mysterious Billy Smith, otherwise born as William Amos Smith, was born on May 15th, 1871 at Little Rivers at Digby in Nova Scotia in Canada. And Mysterious Billy Smith died on October 14th, 1937, aged 66, at Portland in Oregon. And the unofficial record here is 94 matches, 37 wins, 24 by inside the distance, 25 losses, 27 draws, 5 no contests. Bang.